My colleague is now joining us on the phone line for more on this. Jayalakshmi, it's a very serious matter. Here we are talking about 600 odd families who claim they had purchased the land, paid money, taxes and everything, and suddenly it is being said that this land doesn't belong to these people. Where are these people supposed to go?
Yes, exactly. That is the plight of this almost 600 families who are staying in these areas. It is a coastal belt. If I tell you, it is a coastal belt where majority of these people, do fishing for their living. They go to the seas and they fish, and that's how they earn. So now, out of a sudden, when they were paying their taxes, one fine day, the revenue department said that they cannot pay tax to their own property because this is allegedly claimed by the Waqf Board, and it is being said to the families that years before, this entire stretch of land was given as part of a Waqf deed to a third party, which So now they are trying to claim it back. So it is the plight of the residents who indeed bought these land from their hard-earned money. And now what the residents are saying is that until and unless the existing Waqf laws are changed, they won't be able to, get back. The court is still pending in the High Court. So they are saying the existing Waqf laws does not allow them or will not help them in any way to reclaim their land. So these citizens are, requesting the government to bring in changes, bring in amendments to the existing Waqf law, which will help them reclaim their land. This is the request from the families, and the families are alleging that at this point of time they are helpless, even though they have their own house. They are staying in that house since ages. They are not able to utilize their own property, and this is the plight of almost 610 families who are staying in the Cherai Munambam area in the Ernakulam district.
Right. Jayalakshmi, can you also tell us a little bit about how the government is really looking into this entire matter? Because, it can happen with anybody. Today, we are talking about these 600 families and their plight, and it can happen with anybody in any part of the country.
Now, what we understand is that when we spoke to the Waqf minister, he had the state government minister representing the Waqf Board. He has actually said that the case is in the High Court, but then again he has ensured that these people will not be asked to vacate at any cost, that the state government is going to stand with them no matter what happens. If what the state government is claiming, but then again, it all depends on the verdict by the High Court. Only after the High Court gives out a decision, the state government can do anything. So now the citizens are till then the citizens do not have any proof or do not have any guarantee that they are going to get their land back. So that is a big dilemma. Even though the state government has ensured that they will not ask the families to vacate, but what if the High Court's decision comes in favor of the families, then yes, of course they do not have to vacate. But otherwise, it should be seen how things will end up.
That is very important what you're telling us. Let's also tell our viewers a little bit about, what these families have been claiming and how the situation really is for them. So viewers, there are about 600 odd families who are living, in this particular area for more than 100 years. And at the same time, in 1902, this is the claim of the families here, Siddiqui said bought this land from the King of Travancore. And at the same time, in 1950, said donated this property to Farouk College in Calicut, and then he gave all the rights to sell and use the property to this particular college. And then the legal dispute continued between the fishermen and the college specifically. And then in 1975, now this is very important, the High Court ordered that the land actually belongs to the college only. And then after out-of-court settlement, people started buying land there. And in 2022, viewers, the village office said that the residents can no longer pay land tax. So they have been living on this particular land for a very long time, and suddenly suddenly in 2022 that they are told that they cannot pay taxes on this particular land. As a result, the residents cannot mortgage their own land or sell. Now, the families are claiming this is in fact a bid to occupy their land in the name of Waqf. This is what the families are claiming right now. And we have, viewers, spoken to other people as well, other families, the affected families in this particular region. Here's what they told us.
2022, when people went to pay the land tax in the village office, they refused to accept it. They said that the land belongs to Waqf and no longer we can occupy this property. Then we started to inquire about what is Waqf, and we came to know that once the Waqf tribunal claims this property, we are unable to pay any tax, and we have a duty to clear and prove that this is not Waqf's property. That is the problem with this act. So with that, we have went to High Court we have now 5 cases in the High Court.
The existing Waqf Act, which has created trouble to the people, residents of this specific coastal area. I'm standing at the Velangani Mada Church here in Ernakulam, near the coastal area of Cherai and Munambam. This is a 50-year-old church which was established in 1973, and now after 50 years, the Waqf Board has claimed this land as theirs. And now, not only this church, there are around 600 families, over 600 families, 610 families to be very precise, who are staying in this specific area of the Cherai Munambam coastal area. And now the Waqf Board is claiming this entire property as theirs. So a huge tragedy has hit the residents who are staying here currently. And after this property was legally bought by these residents from a specific college, Farooq College, back around 20 years back. But now, after the Waqf Board has all of a sudden claimed this entire property, they claim there are the 400-acre land is theirs. Now the citizens here are in trouble and are in panic, as at any moment, any time, they might be evicted from their own houses.
So that was a report sent to us by my colleague Jayalakshmi. Let's now go across to Anil Antony of the BJP joining us on the broadcast. We also have with us Tom Vadakan of the BJP. Good afternoon to both of you. Thank you very much for speaking with us here on Times Now. Anil Antony, it's a very, sad story out there coming in from Kerala. 610 odd families today, are being told that the place where they had their homes does not really belong to them. The Waqf has suddenly come and said that, this land on which these 610 odd families have been living for so many years actually belongs to Waqf. I mean, what is happening and what is the solution really? Because almost on a daily basis, we are getting these kind of stories.
Thank you. So these are not isolated instances. So the instances you are speaking about are in 2 beaches in Kerala, Cherai Beach and Munambam Beach, where almost 600 fishermen families who have been living there for decades, who purchased the land with the hard-earned money and who developed the area. Suddenly the Waqf Board are claiming that this land belongs to them. And one of the unfortunate situations about this act is once the Waqf Board claims the land, it is up to the others to prove that it is not their land. So these kind of situations are arising across Kerala, it is arising across India also. And many prominent organizations in Kerala, including the Syro Malabar Church, the Syro Malankara Church, many other organizations, they all have come against this particular act and they have written to the central government to look at these provisions and make necessary amendments so that these kind of exploitation do not happen to poor people. But unfortunately, in Kerala, what is happening is the left and the Congress, both of them in the national stage, they belong to the same alliance. But in the state, they are in the opposition and the ruling fronts, and they are having a mock fight between them. But whenever it comes to certain issues,
right.
For example, in the recent times, the One Country, One Election, now the Waqf Board Amendment Act, everywhere they come together, they take a certain stance, and the stance is always meant to appease certain minority community, and it is always against the people, the public. So in Kerala also now the left and the Congress are taking a certain stance, including in these instances in Cherai and Munambam, where they are standing with the exploiters. And it is increasing over time, and that is why now the union government has taken the initiative to consult with lakhs of people across every state in India. And now the act has been given to the JPC. So we are, the NDA government led by our Honorable Prime Minister is ensuring that people have their
So you're hopeful that the JPC is going to come out with some kind of a solution as far as these kind of stories from across the country are concerned that we are getting almost on a daily basis. Mr. Anil Antony, appreciate you joining us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. Tom Varakan, now an important point there raised by Anil Antony as well, because the onus eventually falls on these people to prove that this land indeed belongs to them. But, you know, if we are banking on the JPC, I mean, we also know what's happening there. For 2 days in a row, opposition MPs staged a walkout. So how will the solution really come to, you know, what these people are facing?
Well, there has to be a solution to a problem. And the solution is the central government is seized of it. Now, letters from the Christian community have all reached the JPC, and the relevant papers are being examined. And I'm sure solution will be found. But the backdrop of this whole issue is vote bank politics. This business of judicial scrutiny being removed and in-house grievance committee or whatever, they have a judicial process, which the main members of there are from the Waqf Board itself. So they are sitting in judgment on issues related to them. They are the judge, the jury, and the hangsman. Now, be what it may, if you examine Waqf Board, it's neither mentioned in the Constitution of India, nor is it mentioned in the Quran. This is a self-styled body that has come up, and the hilarious part of it, and it's a very serious threat, that the Parliament House, the current claim that Parliament House, the Delhi airport, portion of the Delhi airport is all part of Waqf Board. This has started like a virus. And I am sure under the leadership of our Prime Minister, this matter will be settled. Because the rule of law, equality, right, people who bought their property, they have the papers, that will prevail. It is not some land mafia taking charge and saying this belongs to us and that belongs to us. It doesn't work that way. And you have a judicial process which they have imbibed. And who brought this process? It was the Congress party. And why did they bring it? Because essentially the vote bank politics.
All right, Tom Varakan, appreciate you joining us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. And viewers, this is going to be our top focus ahead as well. We are getting a reaction from the Kerala government as well. That's